Hey, everybody. We're glad to be here again, once again on Friday, our regular get together, what's new and coming up with lipedema. I'm Leslyn Keith. I'm the president of the board and director of research for Lipedema, the Lipedema Project. And I'm here with my friends and colleagues. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Gail.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gail Straker. I'm the community manager for Lipedema Simplified. And I always like being here on Friday to talk, but I don't want to talk too much today. So I'm going to let Siobhan go next.
I'm Siobhan Huggins. I'm the research specialist with the Lipedema Project. I read a bunch of stuff. I do experiments. Sometimes I take breaks from experiments, and then I talk about it.
Yes. And we really appreciate that. And I want to just say that we really enjoy, like Julio already put something in. So go ahead and put something in the chat. Say hi, say where you are in the world, say what the weather is doing. Because we got snow in Idaho and Colorado, where Gail and Siobhan are. Of course, it is 65 and sunny here in Southern California for me. But let us know.
I thought you were going to say there was snow in California. I was like, oh, God, what's happening?
And that poor Leslyn, she doesn't have any good weather.
I know. But, you know, I would love to have some really cold weather, but I like that sweater time of year and scarf time of year. You know, I like to do that, but we don't get much of that in Southern California. So all the rest of you are enjoying it. Gloria says it's snowing in Ogden. And Andrea is in, I think, Arizona. And what else? Fractal Beans, and I always forget who that one is.
Elena. It's Elena.
Elena, she says hi. And Stephanie is in Oklahoma, cold and windy. Yes, thank you for posting that, you guys. So we have a couple of things to talk about today, and mostly just want to be here and chat with you. We love when you post comments and questions in the chat. Sometimes we have things we plan on talking about, but what we'd much rather talk about whatever you suggest. So make sure you put stuff down there. Diva is in southwest Australia, gorgeous sunny day, because this is summer for you right now. Jeannie in Northern California, it's sunny and cool here. So it's still sunny because it's California, but it's cool. We don't get very much rain. So just a couple things we want to tell you about some events coming up, because one of them is tomorrow. So I really want to talk about that first. I'm going to be speaking at a virtual seminar for certified lymphedema therapists and other lymphatic clinicians. That is tomorrow through Lymphadema Seminars. We have the link there. Here, you can see it here on the screen, but also below you will see the link. If your CLT would like to register, or if you have another medical provider that they would be interested. The focus on this one day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time virtual seminar is all about central lymphatic dysfunction. And we're also going to be talking about MCAS. I always forget what it means. Mast cell activation
syndrome.
Yes. And I think a little bit about POTS, stuff like that. And these are common comorbidities of lipedema. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about the central lymphatics. So the lymphatics in your trunk. And I'll be talking a little bit about this topic we've been talking a lot about lately, which is the Perrin technique, which seems to help with central lymphatic issues, but it really is focusing on what's happening with the lymphatics in the head and neck and the central nervous system, so along the spinal cord. So if you have any CLTs or other lymphatic professionals, tell them about tomorrow, follow that link, see if they're interested, and we'd love to have them. And then speaking about Perrin, Siobhan, can you talk about this free webinar that we're having on Wednesday?
Yeah, so this is going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern, so it'll be 11 p.m. Mountain Time. And that will be with Dr. Perrin, like you just mentioned. And Dr. Perrin talks a lot about the head and neck and brain lymphatics and all of that. And the reason that we've kind of been talking about them is Catherine has had her central lymphatic issues. So she was kind of looking for things that might be helpful. And it's like, okay, this isn't going to apply to everyone with lipedema, but we do have some people in the community who do seem like they're having central lymphatic issues, sometimes very, very mild, as opposed to Catherine, who's kind of on the other extreme. So we wanted to bring that forward and kind of talk about, what can we actually do for people that, lymphatic therapists can get trained up in it. Maybe they already know a little bit about it. He has a book. They can go to the webinar. I know I've sent my lymphatic therapist the links, and then see, is this something that can be helpful for people, especially if you're getting some of those things like brain fog or fatigue, sudden bouts of fatigue or chronic fatigue, and kind of those other symptoms, and see, is there a way we can intervene early on, as opposed to surgery in some extreme cases.
Yeah, and this is, as Siobhan was saying, it's a free webinar. It's coming up this Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you are unavailable at that time, you can watch the replay. But the only way you're going to get the replay is if you register. So it does not cost anything, but you need to register so that you'll get a link to either be there live or watch the replay. Some people are there live and they watch the replay because sometimes we're talking about the brain and the spinal cord and the lymphatics associated with it. Sometimes you need to hear it a couple times to help you learn it and really understand what Dr. Perrin is talking about. So follow that link below, find out more about it, and join us. We hope you can be there.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, even if you don't have central lymphatic issues or anything like that, don't suspect you do, sometimes it's fun just to learn about what do the lymphatics do in the brain? How do they work?
Yes.
And we will be hearing a bit about that at the webinar. So if you're curious.
Yeah. It's all about keeping your lymphatics healthy. And so if you have a lymphatic system, you may want to be there. And I see that Marcia says hi, and Kathy is hi from, I don't know if I can pronounce that, from British Columbia, Penticton, British Columbia, and it's snowing, first snow there. And Sherry is from South Florida. I'm betting it's not snowing for Sherry. So something else we were thinking about talking about today, just gabbing, and please put stuff in the chat. We were thinking about talking about, well, the holidays, and this tends to be not only a stressful time, which sometimes your lipedema can be exacerbated just because you're under stress during a stressful time, but also it's kind of be a time that's kind of rough to stick to whatever your chosen eating plan is, because there's lots of things that may be off your plan that are right there, and you have people urging you to eat them even if you don't want to. So we thought we'd chat a little bit about that and see, just our favorite tips on how you deal with some of those things, and how can you have the most enjoyable time you can with your family and friends through the holiday period right here. Gail, you got anything you like to share on that?
Sure. And I'm going to start with saying the very first thing you can do is make sure that you don't miss any of our broadcasts. We've got 3 or 4 a week just right here on live. We have my broadcast is on Tuesday evenings mostly. One day a month we do Tuesday morning, and Leslyn's is the first and third Thursday, and that's research updates. And then we do this on Friday, and then Catherine does a reflections. Wow, what a ride on Sunday! But we can't, we broadcast, but what we really need is we need subscriptions. We need people to subscribe to our channel so that they get the notification. We need people to share these videos. We also need people to give us hearts. They look like this.
Yes, yes. Send your love.
Or a thumb up, right? Whatever platform you're watching us on, whatever page, give us some loving, because the more points we get, the more often we move up on the scale. And right now I've got 2 thumbs up, and I know I've got almost 30 people watching, and I've got, there's 3.
That's like 60 thumbs.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right? 60 thumbs. So some people just left because they're not sharing a thumb. But no, it's really important for us to get in. Anytime you see any of our stuff, whether it's these lives or whether it's a just a picture or a meme or something that's from Lipedema Simplified or Lipedema Project, please make sure you hit the like button or the heart button or whatever it is. We need those because we need to be out there. You can do your job. Listen to me. We can do us a favor. We come to you 4 times a week, right? You can do us a favor by sharing this so more people get to see us, and we become more popular. We want to be a popular girls, you guys. Anyway, make us popular. There. And that's right. And like Fractal Bean says, don't forget to like. That's right. Don't forget to like us, subscribe to us, and don't forget to like us. So Melody asks, can I get an email for the Lipedema Project? Having a hard time finding it.
Oh, so, you mean an email or Melody, do you want the website?
So first of all, an email to Leslyn.
Yes. Go ahead and put me up, Leslyn at lipedemaproject.org. But also, we'll also put out the website, which is lipedemaproject.org. So those are 2 ways to get to the Lipedema Project. So I hope that helps, Melody. And hi, neighbor Julie from Camarillo. It says it's sunny. And since we're only about 20 miles apart, or maybe even less, we have the same weather. Anita is here from Illinois, and Kathy says hi. It says GS Allen from Norway. Wow, what time is it for you right now? I think it's probably early?
Almost 9.
Almost night, yeah, because you were just in Sweden, so you would know, Siobhan. And Melody. Okay, Melody wants an email. So Melody, please email me at Leslyn at lipedemaproject.org. Okay.
And Melody said she made a donation through her company, United Healthcare, wants to make sure you received the funds.
Oh.
Very nice. Thank you, Melody.
Yes. Melody, email me your question to Leslyn at lipedemaproject.org, and I will forward it to the proper person who can answer you. And I'm wondering if you might, for tax purposes, you might need some kind of letter. So I'll make sure that your request gets to the right person. So email me and we'll take care of that.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Melody.
Yeah. Thanks for the donation.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Also, I was wrong. It's almost 11.
Okay. Okay. Late. It's late.
Yeah, very late.
San Diego, and Linda is from Gold Canyon, Arizona. And Melody says, I just want to be part of the popular group. Yes. And you're here. You're here. You've made it. You've arrived.
Why did we get off topic, Leslyn?
I know.
Sorry.
I'm going to divert off the topic one more time a little bit, because everybody has to notice this gorgeous sweater that Siobhan is wearing that she made herself. I love the pattern. I love the style. The color is so good on you. So it's a skill. It's a skill that Siobhan has.
Thank you for saying skill instead of talent. I worked hard on this.
Hard to develop that skill. Yes.
Yes. This is actually the first sweater that I made, so it's kind of rough. Oh no, don't highlight. They'll see all the puckering, all the puckering around the color work. But I'll make you one, Leslyn. Why not? No, I
It's
won't. But
gorgeous. I would love exactly those same colors, but
oh, okay.
very, very nice. Leslie says that's awesome. Sherry also says that's lovely. Margaret is from Homerville, Ohio. I think that's the first time I've seen someone post from Homerville, Ohio. Welcome.
So the thing that Leslyn and Siobhan don't realize is they put me in charge of the buttons back here in the background, and the Wizard of Oz back here, and I do get to do things like put them in the front and center.
That's right.
That's what I like doing.
And we can't retaliate because we don't have control. So
We don't have buttons. I get to push theirs. They don't get to push mine.
Yeah,
but you
I
also
would never
have a
be
lot
given
more
such
responsibility.
power.
So I'm happy to let you have fun with the buttons.
That's
So-
true.
So about 5 minutes ago, Leslyn asked me about, some tips for getting through the holidays. And that's a really interesting thing because we are actually doing a special interest group. We're halfway through a special interest group. It's a course. It's a 4-week course that we're doing right now. We always in the background here call it Thriving Through the Holidays, but it's basically, making sure that you have the support to go through the holidays. But it's not only the holidays, it's any time that you find yourself a bit stressed.
Mhm.
So some of the things that we talk about is making sure you know who your support circle is. Maybe your support circle is one point, you and so it's a little short line segment, but make sure you know who your support person or your support people are. So that anytime you feel like you have to go into a situation, for example, let's say there's a party tomorrow night and you're quite nervous about it because, first of all, you don't know what you're going to wear. Okay, we all get through. That's something that I'm always worrying about. You don't know if your ankles are going to be swollen. I got to get those shoes on. You don't know, what if I get there and I just, I start at one corner of the buffet table and go to the other corner of the buffet table and hoover clear across, which is something most people, not even those with lipedema, don't want to do.
No.
Maybe you have somebody in there that you adore, like a parent or a child or a friend who's made you your favorite cake from 2 years ago, but you have decided to slow down on the sugar or the carbs, and they made you that cake and they're going to push you. Or maybe it's a time when, you're used to drinking quite a bit of beer and you're going, alcohol turns into sugar and, I don't always feel so good. All those things, regardless of what it is. Maybe you just don't really want to mingle. Maybe there's no chair available that you're comfortable in sitting. There's all these things that go on in our brains. So if you have a support person, that's that person you have on speed dial. Well, we don't even use speed dial anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's all speed dial.
It's all speed dial.
All speed dial. Right.
You have that support person you can send a text to and
Yes.
say, I need a break. Maybe, or you can say, tell me something to make me laugh to ease that anxiety, or
Yes.
Come get me. I need an escape route.
Yes.
Something like that. So have a support person
Mm-hmm.
that knows you so
Yes.
well. Like I am in the process of doing something, and I'm like, I reached out to Leslyn and Siobhan, and I said, I'm doing something pretty hard and I'm going to need some support through this hard time.
Mhm.
And they don't ever have to even respond. But they do. They send me a thumb up. A thumb I get back. But no, they're there. And I know that I've had that connection. And that it makes me go. So that's the tips that I have. And like, for example, the CSIG that we're doing, the special interest group, all those people exchanged phone numbers in that class. Now something goes on. It doesn't even matter if I'm in a party. It could just be, oh, well, I'm here with my aunt taking care of her and I'm exhausted and I want to tell somebody about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell somebody about it. And they just go, oh, Gail, we're caring for you through this, right? So you can have that support. And
Right.
that's, I get yelled at by my kid. Mom, you use the word vital all the time. Well, I'm using it again. That's vital.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One person that you can just send a message to, and you know that they know, right? They know that you're connected. An invisible string from my heart to Leslyn's, and from my heart to Siobhan's, and from Siobhan's to Leslyn. We're this little
Heart triangle.
We're a little love triangle. But it's really important. It's really important to make sure you have one person
Yes.
in your pocket to
Yes.
just know that you can reach out to. So, ta-da.
Yeah. We got Vicky posted something about she's been on Carnivore for 5 weeks. I have a very little change in pain or size. I do not weigh anymore, and it's way too disappointing to do that. Does it take longer for us to see results from Carnivore? And I'd love to have you respond to that, Siobhan. Do you have any comments?
I think it can depend on the person and the body. In some cases, Carnivore isn't what's needed, so that may be why. Or there's something within Carnivore that is kind of still a little bit irritating. Dairy is probably the most common one for Carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
And with lipedema as well, but not exclusively lipedema. I've heard the same thing from the mental health community who uses metabolic therapies, autoimmune, a whole bunch of different ones, even weight loss. So kind of taking a look, and then just examining a little bit closer, like, how are meal times going for you? How are you feeling after the meals that you're currently having? Are you getting satiated, or are you still hungry, or are you getting physically full or bored but not satiated? Do you feel fatigued afterwards? What other management?
Bloating.
Yeah, abdominal bloating.
Mm-hmm.
And what other management strategies are you using? Because I know even with Carnivore, I still had to do things like manual lymph drainage and other things like that. Yeah, and just kind of exploring a little bit, because with lipedema, it's a little bit tricky sometimes to kind of suss out, okay, what do you actually need at this very moment? Are there nutrient deficiencies that haven't been addressed? Am I not eating enough?
And a lot of these things, it can help to not be alone when you try to do that. When you try to figure that out. And I always like to suggest Carrie Reedy, our coach. She's a nutritionist in Australia. She works with you virtually, and she can really help you look at that. Vicky says now she's not hungry, but lots of heartburn. And Vicky, I've been having some issues with that myself, and I'm carnivore, and there's not things that I would typically associate. And so the only thing that I've added in the last week, and now I'm getting all this heartburn, is collagen powder. It was suggested that maybe I add collagen to help with bone density. And so I was typically having it in the evening, and then now I would have heartburn all night as soon as I laid down. So I'm playing with it, trying to figure out why I'm getting that. So Vicky, there might be something that is doing that, because typically we don't get heartburn on Carnivore, but you and I are both experiencing that. So I really think that having someone to help you explore that, and so you're not trying to figure it out on your own while you're not feeling very well. So consider checking out Carrie. She has a free discovery meeting that you can just have a meeting with her to see if you think she could help you, and that might be something worth following up on. Some of our physicians, if they're familiar with carbohydrate restriction and the way that you're eating, and hopefully familiar with lipedema, maybe they can help you explore. And if you don't have a physician who's like that, I would suggest going to the Society of Metabolic Health Practitioners, because they have a listing of physicians that all use carbohydrate restriction. That's smhp.org, I think is that. And and I haven't found him on there, but Dr. Kalajian, I don't think at least I went on their website and couldn't find him on there, but Dr. Kalajian he does visits virtually as well as in person in his clinic, but virtually he is licensed in every state in the US. So if you're in the US, he can see you. So consider, having a physician to help you with that. May or may not be covered by your insurance, but the hard part is trying to figure this out on your own. There's something going on, Vicki, and I think you need someone to help you.
Yeah, and
I was going to say, for my carnivore experience, and this is something that I actually reached out to Leslyn and Siobhan for, saying, hey, I'm going to go beef in bed. I'm just going to go beef. I'm going to go strictly beef, water, and salt. And I didn't make it very long. I didn't make it very long, because what I found was in the evenings, I was searching for something. Right?
Yes.
So something was triggering me. What do I need in the evenings? And it was like, next, I'm eating at 8:00 at night. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
But what I did is I added eggs.
Oh.
That's all it took.
Okay.
Something. And the reason I was like, it's like I went out one night and I'm like, oh my gosh. I know some of us go, I need something now. If it's my child, I'll just throw the bones in the trash. That's kind of the way that it's like, yeah. And it's not that I'm hungry. It's very, very mental, very emotional. And so I was finding, okay, I'm going to have to eat beef, and then I'm like, oh, I got to put some butter on this. And I realized I'm eating at 8:00 at night. And then I have heartburn and I have.
Yes. Because you're eating so late. Yeah.
But there's something about an egg.
Yes.
That I need.
Yes.
And then once I started eating eggs with my beef, it works.
Yeah, eggs are a really high source of choline, and we have some in the beef as well, but maybe you get even more from the egg.
There's vitamin K as well.
Yeah, Siobhan, you were going to make a suggestion too. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I wonder how actually psychological that is, Gail.
It's
perhaps
awesome. I'm a psychic.
Well, it could also be because I actually had this discussion with my friend Dave about cravings and things like that. And he suggested maybe some of what I was experiencing was not actually psychological, but rather nutrient related. And after further investigation, I actually suspect that is the case.
Yeah.
But one other thing that comes up with heartburn, it's interesting because high glycemic diets tend to induce it. Yes. But there is another portion that could relate to low stomach acid. So again, like being able to talk to a coach or a doctor who can help you investigate all of the possibilities, and kind of follow up on that would be helpful. And also potentially other lifestyle things like you mentioned, Gail, like eating too late or just something going on. And then Fractal Beans said, carnivore works for me. Recently reintroduced some dairy yogurt and felt badly all over. With you there. I'm like 2 months off of dairy. It is a good elimination diet, even apart from lipedema. Yes, it sure is. And then that's interesting.
Sardines in the air fryer.
Yeah, and she also said maybe it's not the carbs, maybe the oils that are eliminated, maybe both. I've definitely have issues with carbs and some of the seed oils and stuff, but something is working, and that's always good. It's like, I don't know why it's working, but it's working.
I just put in our private chat, Gail, if you could also put it, I can't figure out how to post it myself, but it's a link to my keto doctor that I'm seeing right now. Is Dr. Christy Kesslering. She was a radiation oncologist and suggesting to her cancer patients that because of the cancer, it might be good to reduce their carbohydrate intake. And she was feeling too restricted where she was working. And so she's now, her whole practice is lifestyle medicine, and she does everything virtually. You do have to pay cash. This is not covered by insurance, but you might be able to submit it to your non-Medicare insurance to get reimbursed. She's very, very good. She does all the blood work. She did do the thing that you were just talking about low stomach acid. And she has a way of testing that, doing a home way of testing to figure out if you have enough stomach acid and how to supplement it if you don't. So that could be another good support for you. Again, if you don't want to try to figure this out on your own, having someone help you can really be helpful.
Yeah. And then Andrea in the chat said, I'm carnivore and it has taken about 4 months. I feel so much better than I did before. I do watch dairy. I also started fasting, which has made a big difference. I also have MS. You can look at Steak and Butter Gang on YouTube. I do like Steak and Butter Gang. But yeah, so that's a good data point of it took 4 months. I know for me, I was keto for a long time before carnivore, and I had a lot of quick benefit, but I'm also earlier into lipedema. I had also had a lot of success with keto prior to that. So I think it's going to be everybody's different kind of thing. If you have some stuff that your body needs to work through, it may take a longer period of time.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And 5 weeks is a short time. So, but we've done it again. We went way over our 20-minute limit. We can't help ourselves. we love getting together with you guys, and just with when the three of us and Catherine, when she's available, when we all get together, we don't want to stop talking. So I don't think we've ever held to that 20-minute time limit. So, but we do need to wind this up. It has been so lovely being here with you all.
Yeah.